You've been told 1,000 times that money is all about numbers. That if you just learn the right formulas, if you hustle harder than everyone else, if you time your moves perfectly, you'll finally unlock the door to wealth. Maybe you've spent years chasing that next big opportunity, grinding through sleepless nights, believing that the secret to abundance is buried somewhere in your effort, your strategy, or your luck. But what if everything you've been taught about money is missing the real story? What if the true engine of wealth isn't found in your bank account, your business plan, or your work ethic, but in something far more subtle, something most people never even notice? Here's the truth that almost no one will tell you. Money doesn't respond to your hustle. It doesn't care about your spreadsheets, your late nights, or your clever ideas. Money is energy, and it's drawn to you or repelled from you by a force you can't see but everyone around you can feel. That force is your aura. It's the invisible field that surrounds you, the silent broadcast that announces who you are before you ever say a word. And whether you realize it or not, your aura is shaping your financial destiny every single day. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and felt an instant shift in the air, even before anyone spoke? Have you noticed how some people seem to attract opportunities, support, and resources without even trying, while others struggle no matter how hard they push? That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's the power of energetic alignment at work. Your aura is like a radio signal, constantly transmitting your beliefs, your emotions, and your expectations out into the world. And the world responds, not to what you say you want, but to what you truly are on the inside. Most people spend their lives chasing money, thinking that if they just run fast enough, work hard enough, or say the right things, they'll finally catch it. But here's the paradox. You do not attract what you chase. You attract what you are. Your aura is the sum total of your inner world, your confidence, your fears, your self-worth, your hidden doubts. It's the energy you carry into every conversation, every negotiation, every decision. And it's working for you or against you, whether you're aware of it or not. So if you've ever wondered why some people seem to have a magnetic pull for wealth, while others are stuck in a cycle of struggle, the answer isn't found in their resumes or their routines. It's found in their frequency. It's found in the silent, powerful force that surrounds them, their aura. And here's the most important part. Your aura is not fixed. It's not something you're born with and stuck with forever. It's something you can train, refine, and strengthen just like a muscle. The question is, are you ready to stop chasing and start attracting? Are you willing to look beyond the surface and discover the hidden science of wealth that's been shaping your life all along? Because once you understand how your aura works, you'll realize that the real game isn't about working harder or waiting for luck. It's about alignment. It's about tuning your energy to the frequency of abundance so that money, opportunities, and success can't help but find you. And in the next section, we're going to break down exactly how this law of resonance works and why it's the missing link between where you are and where you want to be. But first, ask yourself, what are you really broadcasting to the world? Because your aura is already negotiating your future, whether you know it or not. The law of resonance. Let's pull back the curtain on a force that quietly shapes every outcome in your life, whether you're aware of it or not. It's called the law of resonance, and it's the reason why your aura is so much more than a mystical idea or a poetic metaphor. This law is as real and as relentless as gravity, and it's working in your life right now, silently, invisibly, but with absolute precision. Hear how it works. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold sends out a signal. This signal isn't just a fleeting mood or a passing vibe. It's a frequency, a pattern, a magnetic current that radiates from you into the world. And just like a tuning fork, the world responds to your frequency by sending back experiences, people, and opportunities that match what you're broadcasting. This is resonance in action. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Imagine your aura as a radio tower, constantly transmitting your inner state to the universe. If your signal is filled with doubt, fear, or scarcity, you'll find that life seems to echo those feelings right back at you. Bills pile up, opportunities slip through your fingers, and every step forward feels like a struggle. But if your signal is charged with confidence, gratitude, and certainty, you'll notice that doors open, people respond, and money flows in ways that almost feel effortless. It's not magic. It's resonance. Most people never realize that their aura is negotiating on their behalf long before they ever open their mouths. Before you walk into a meeting, your energy has already entered the room. Before you pitch an idea, your frequency has already set the tone. Before you even ask for what you want, your aura has already whispered your true expectations to the world. And the world listens, not to your words, but to your energy. This is why you can't fake it. You can't paste a smile over anxiety and expect abundance to come running. You can't recite affirmations you don't believe and hope the universe will be fooled. The law of resonance is immune to surface-level tricks. It reads the real signal, the one pulsing beneath your words and actions. If you're vibrating with fear, the world will mirror that fear back to you. If you're radiating self-worth, the world will reflect that worth in the form of opportunities, support, and wealth. Think about the people you know who seem to have a natural magnetism. They walk into a room and instantly command attention. They speak and others listen. They ask and doors open. It's not because they're luckier or more talented. It's because their aura is aligned with what they desire. Their inner world is congruent with their outer goals, and the law of resonance rewards that alignment with results. But here, where most people get stuck, they try to change their lives by changing their actions, their routines, their strategies, while ignoring the frequency they're broadcasting. They hustle harder, work longer, and chase more desperately, all while their aura is still tuned to scarcity, doubt, or unworthiness. And then they wonder why nothing changes. The truth is, you can't outwork your frequency. You can't hustle your way past the law of resonance. Until you change your signal, you'll keep attracting the same results, no matter how hard you try. So what does this mean for you? It means that the most important work you can do isn't just on your to-do list or your business plan. It's in your inner world. It's in the beliefs you hold, the emotions you nurture, and the stories you tell yourself when no one else is listening. Because your aura is always broadcasting, always negotiating, always shaping your reality, whether you're conscious of it or not. And here's the good news: you have the power to change your frequency. You can train your aura to resonate with abundance, confidence, and success. You can rewire your inner world so that the law of resonance starts working for you, not against you. But it starts with awareness. It starts with asking yourself, what am I really broadcasting? Because the world is always listening and your aura is always speaking. In the next section, we'll dive into the hidden ways you might be sabotaging your own success, often without even realizing it. But for now, remember this: the law of resonance is not a theory. It's a law. And once you learn to master it, you'll discover that attracting wealth isn't about chasing, it's about becoming. Sabotage from within. Now let's get brutally honest about why so many people, even those who work the hardest, find themselves stuck in the same financial rut year after year. It's not because they lack ambition. It's not because they're missing some secret strategy or because the universe is conspiring against them. The real reason is far more subtle and far more powerful. Most people are sabotaging their own success from the inside out, and they don't even realize it. Picture this: you set a big goal. Maybe you want to double your income, launch a business, or finally break free from debt. You start strong, full of motivation and hope. But then, almost without warning, you hit a wall. Doubt creeps in. Old fears resurface. You start questioning whether you're really cut out for this, whether you deserve it, whether it's even possible for someone like you. And before you know it, you're back where you started, frustrated, exhausted, and convinced that maybe wealth just isn't meant for you. But here's the truth: it's not the world that's holding you back, it's your own internal programming. Deep down, you might be carrying beliefs that whisper, "I'm not worthy, I don't deserve abundance," or "success is for other people, not for me." These beliefs are like invisible anchors, dragging you back every time you try to move forward. And the most dangerous part, they operate beneath the surface, shaping your actions, your choices, and your results without you even noticing. This is the silent sabotage of the subconscious mind. You can have the biggest dreams, the best intentions, and the most detailed plans, but if your inner dialogue is dripping with scarcity, self-doubt, or guilt, you will unconsciously block every breakthrough that tries to come your way. You'll undercharge for your work, apologize for your prices, hesitate to ask for what you're worth, or even turn down opportunities because something inside you feels unworthy of receiving more. It's a pattern that repeats itself in countless lives. People rehearse affirmations they don't believe, paste on smiles to hide their anxiety, and try to fake it till they make it, all while their nervous system is vibrating with fear and lack. The universe, however, isn't fooled by surface-level positivity. It responds to your true signal, the one pulsing beneath your words, beneath your actions, beneath your mask. Think about the last time you felt anxious about money. Maybe you worried about paying bills, compared yourself to others, or felt a pang of envy when someone else succeeded. In those moments, your aura was broadcasting a message of lack, of not enough, of I don't believe in my own worth. And that message became your ceiling. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't break through because your energy was setting the limits. This is the law of resonance in action, and it's non-negotiable. You can't outwork it. You can't outsmart it. You can only align with it. If your inner world is filled with scarcity, your outer world will reflect that scarcity back to you again and again. It's not a punishment, it's a mirror, showing you exactly where your work needs to be done. But here's the twist, this sabotage isn't your fault. You weren't born doubting yourself. You weren't born afraid of abundance. These patterns were learned, picked up from parents who struggled, teachers who played it safe, friends who warned you not to dream too big, and a society that glorifies struggle and scarcity. Over time, these messages became your default setting, your emotional baseline, your energetic signature. The good news, what was learned can be unlearned. The ceiling you've been living under isn't made of concrete, it's made of beliefs, and beliefs can be changed. But first, you have to see the sabotage for what it is. A pattern, not a prophecy. A habit, not a destiny. The moment you become aware of the ways you're blocking your own success, you reclaim the power to rewrite your story. So ask yourself, where are you still carrying doubt in your bones? Where does your self-talk drip with scarcity? Where do you feel guilt for wanting more or shame for standing out? These are the places where your aura is leaking power, where your signal is being distorted, where your wealth is being repelled. And until you address these inner blocks, no strategy, no hustle, no amount of effort will set you free. In the next section, we'll break down exactly how your aura is formed, how every thought, every belief, and every word you speak becomes part of the field that money listens to. But for now, remember this, the greatest obstacle to your wealth is not out there, it's within. And the moment you decide to confront it, everything begins to change. The mechanics of aura. Let's go deeper into the invisible world that's shaping your financial reality every single day. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to have a magnetic pull for wealth, while others struggle no matter how hard they try, the answer lies in the mechanics of your aura. This isn't just spiritual poetry. It's a practical, repeatable process that's happening inside you right now, with every thought you think and every word you speak. Your aura is not some mystical fog floating around your body. It's the energetic field created by your emotional habits, your mental focus, and your subconscious beliefs. Think of it as the sum total of your inner world, projected outward into the space around you. Every time you think a thought, you're adding a brushstroke to this invisible canvas. Every belief you hold, every emotion you nurture, every story you repeat to yourself, becomes part of the frequency you emit. And that frequency is what the world responds to, whether you realize it or not. Let's break it down. Imagine your mind as a broadcasting station. The thoughts you think are the programs you air, and your emotions are the music that sets the mood. If your daily playlist is filled with worry, self-doubt, and fear, your aura will broadcast a signal of scarcity and anxiety. If your inner soundtrack is one of gratitude, confidence, and possibility, your aura will radiate abundance and opportunity. The universe, like a finely tuned receiver, picks up on your signal and sends back experiences that match your frequency. But it goes even deeper. Your aura is shaped not just by your conscious thoughts, but by the beliefs you've absorbed over years, often without even realizing it. Maybe you grew up hearing that money is hard to come by, that rich people are greedy, or that success always comes with a price. These beliefs settle into your subconscious, quietly influencing your decisions, your reactions, and your expectations. Over time, they become the default setting of your aura, the silent script that runs your life. And here, where things get really interesting, your aura is always in training. Every moment, you're either strengthening it or weakening it. When you catch yourself thinking a limiting thought and choose to replace it with a more empowering one, you're rewiring your frequency. When you practice gratitude instead of complaint, you're raising your vibration. When you speak words of possibility instead of words of defeat, you're building a field that attracts wealth instead of repelling it. This is why it's not enough to simply think positive once in a while. Your aura is built through repetition, through the daily discipline of choosing thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that align with abundance. It's like going to the gym for your energy field. You wouldn't expect to get strong by lifting weights once a month. In the same way, you can't expect to attract wealth by practicing abundance only when it's convenient. Consistency is key. But there's another layer to this. Your aura is also shaped by your focus. What you pay attention to grows. If you spend your days obsessing over problems, scrolling through negativity, or replaying old failures, you're feeding your aura with the energy of lack. But if you train your mind to focus on solutions, to seek out inspiration, to visualize your goals as already achieved, you're infusing your aura with the energy of success. Your focus is the steering wheel of your frequency. Where you direct it, your life will follow. And let's not forget the power of your words. Every time you speak, you're casting a spell over your reality. Words are not just sounds, they're energetic commands. When you say, "I can't afford that," or "I'm always broke," you're instructing your aura to broadcast lack. When you declare, "I am worthy of abundance," or "opportunities are everywhere," you're programming your field to attract more of what you desire. Your language is the code that writes your energetic software. So what does this mean for you? It means that you are never powerless. You are always training your aura, whether you're aware of it or not. Every thought, every belief, every word is either building a field that attracts wealth or one that pushes it away. The question is, are you training your aura on purpose, or are you letting old habits and unconscious patterns do the work for you? Here's the bottom line. Your aura is the interface between your inner world and your outer results. It's the silent negotiator that sets the terms of your financial destiny before you ever take action. If you want to change your life, you must first change your field. You must become the kind of person whose energy speaks abundance, whose presence commands respect, whose frequency is tuned to the channel of wealth. In the next section, we'll explore why most people fail to make this shift, and how you can avoid the traps that keep so many stuck in cycles of frustration and lack. But for now, remember, your aura is not fixed. It's flexible, it's trainable, and it's waiting for your command. The mechanics are simple, but the impact is profound. Start training your field today, and watch as the world begins to respond in ways you never imagined. Why most people fail. If the mechanics of aura are so simple, why do so many people fail to change their financial reality? Why do millions keep repeating the same patterns, year after year, even after reading the books, watching the videos, and reciting the affirmations? The answer is both uncomfortable and liberating. Most people never truly shift their energy. They get stuck in the surface-level rituals, hoping for a miracle, while their inner world remains unchanged. Let's be honest, modern culture is obsessed with appearances. We're taught to fake it till you make it, to smile through the struggle, to act confident even when we're trembling inside. Social media is filled with highlight reels and motivational quotes, but behind the scenes, most people are still wrestling with the same old doubts and fears. They paste on positivity like a mask, hoping the world, and maybe even the universe, will be fooled. But the law of resonance can't be tricked. It doesn't respond to what you pretend to be. It responds to what you truly are. This is where the cycle of frustration begins. People try to act as if they're wealthy, repeating affirmations and visualizing success, but deep down, their nervous system is still wired for lack. They say, "I am abundant," but their body tenses up when the bills arrive. They declare, "I am worthy," but their heart races with anxiety every time they ask for more. The result, their aura broadcasts confusion, not clarity. The universe receives a mixed signal, one part hope, one part fear, and responds with more of the same uncertainty. It's not that affirmations and visualization don't work. They absolutely can, but only when they're backed by genuine belief and emotional alignment. If you're just reciting words you don't believe, you're not reprogramming your aura, you're reinforcing the gap between who you want to be and who you actually are. The subconscious mind is powerful, but it's also literal. It takes its cues from your feelings, not just your words. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt, no amount of surface-level positivity will override that signal. Here, another trap, the addiction to external validation. Most people are waiting for proof before they believe. They want to see the money in their account, the opportunity in their inbox, the applause from the crowd, then they'll allow themselves to feel successful. But the wealthy, the truly magnetic, do the opposite. They believe first. They rehearse success in their mind's theater until it feels inevitable. They build the future internally, brick by brick, before a single dime shows up externally. That's the real secret of energy mastery. It's not about faking confidence. It's about embodying it so deeply that the world has no choice but to catch up. But let's get even more real. Most people are afraid to let go of their old identity. There's a strange comfort in struggle, a familiar rhythm to scarcity. If you've spent years believing you're the underdog, the outsider, the one who has to fight for every scrap, then abundance can actually feel threatening. Success can trigger guilt, fear, or even loneliness. The subconscious mind clings to what's familiar, even if it's painful, because it feels safe. This is why so many people self-sabotage, just as things start to improve. They unconsciously pull themselves back to the level of struggle they've always known. And then there's the environment. You can't train a magnetic aura while surrounding yourself with complainers, doubters, or people who reinforce your old limitations. Your environment is an amplifier. It multiplies whatever frequency you're already carrying. If you're trying to build confidence while listening to gossip, or trying to think like a millionaire while scrolling through poverty mindset content, you're fighting an uphill battle. What you consume becomes what you emit. If you want to change your aura, you have to change your inputs. So why do most people fail? It's not because they're lazy or unlucky. It's because they never address the root cause, the misalignment between their inner world and their outer actions. They try to change their results without changing their identity. They chase new strategies while clinging to old beliefs. They want the rewards of abundance without releasing the comfort of scarcity. But here, the liberating part. The moment you decide to do the real work, the inner work, everything changes. When you stop faking confidence and start building it from the inside out, your aura shifts. When you let go of the need for external validation and choose to believe in your worth before the world does, your frequency rises. When you curate your environment, your habits, and your relationships to support your new identity, you become a magnet for the very things you once chased. In the next section, we'll break down the practical steps to rewire your signal and retrain your aura for lasting wealth. But for now, remember this. Most people fail not because they can't, but because they won't. They won't let go of the old story. They won't risk outgrowing their comfort zone. But you're not most people. You're here to do what others won't, so you can live how others can't. The choice is yours. Rewiring your signal. If you've made it this far, you already know that the real work of wealth isn't about chasing the next big thing or hustling until you burn out. It's about changing the signal you send out into the world, rewiring your aura so that abundance becomes your new normal. But how do you actually do that? How do you shift from a lifetime of scarcity, doubt, and self-sabotage to a state where wealth, opportunity, and support seem to find you almost effortlessly? It starts with a decision, a conscious, unwavering choice to reclaim authorship of your identity. You have to be willing to erase the story that was written for you by broke parents, cautious teachers, or a society that glorifies struggle. You were not born to be poor. You were trained to think poor. And every day you continue to carry those old beliefs, you're reinforcing the very ceiling you want to break through. The first step in rewiring your signal is to become ruthlessly aware of your self-talk. Listen to the words you use when you talk about money, success, or your own worth. Are you apologizing for your prices? Are you downplaying your achievements? Are you secretly afraid that wanting more makes you greedy or ungrateful? Every time you catch yourself slipping into these patterns, pause, interrupt the script. Replace it with a new narrative, one that affirms your right to abundance, your worthiness, and your power to create. But awareness alone isn't enough. You have to train your nervous system to feel safe with abundance. This is where most people stumble. They try to think rich while their body is still addicted to the adrenaline of struggle. If your nervous system is wired for chaos, you'll unconsciously sabotage peace. If your body is used to scarcity, you'll find ways to push abundance away, even when it's right in front of you. So how do you retrain your body to accept more? Start with gratitude, not the surface level kind, but the deep cellular gratitude that comes from noticing every small sign of abundance in your life. When you find $1 on the street, when someone pays you a compliment, when you receive unexpected help, pause and let yourself feel it. Let your body register the sensation of receiving. The more you practice this, the more you teach your nervous system that abundance is safe, normal, and welcome. Next, practice visualization, not as a fantasy, but as a rehearsal. Close your eyes and see yourself living the life you desire. Feel the emotions of security, freedom, and expansion as if they're happening right now. Walk like someone who is already free, even if your circumstances haven't caught up yet. The mind can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. The more you rehearse success in your mind's theater, the more your aura begins to broadcast that frequency. But don't stop there. Speak your truth boldly. Declare your worth not to impress others but to reprogram yourself. Say, I deserve more. Say, I am a magnet for abundance. Say, money is safe with me. These aren't just empty affirmations, they're instructions to your subconscious, commands to your energy field. The more you repeat them with conviction, the more your aura begins to shift. And then take courageous action. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, whether it's raising your prices, asking for what you want, or saying no to what no longer serves you, you're sending a powerful message to your aura. I am ready for more. Courage is the bridge between belief and reality. It's the proof your subconscious needs to update its programming. The more you act in alignment with abundance, the more your field begins to attract it. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. You must curate your environment. You can't rewire your signal while surrounding yourself with people, habits, or content that reinforce your old limitations. Guard your field. Spend time with those who challenge you to grow, who see your potential, who speak the language of possibility. Fill your space with reminders of your future, books, symbols, music, anything that lifts your frequency. What you consume becomes what you emit. Rewiring your signal isn't a one-time event. It's a daily practice, a sacred discipline. Some days will feel easy, others will test your resolve. But every moment you choose gratitude over complaint, courage over fear, and belief over doubt, you're building a new baseline for your aura. You're raising your default setting from scarcity to abundance. From anxiety to certainty. And here's the most powerful truth. As your signal changes, so does your reality. Opportunities begin to appear where there were none. People respond to you with new enthusiasm. Money flows in ways you never expected. It's not luck, it's alignment. The universe is simply responding to the new frequency you're broadcasting. In the next section, we'll explore how your environment acts as an amplifier for your new signal, and how to make sure every part of your life supports your wealth journey. But for now, remember this: you are not a victim of your past programming. You are the author of your future frequency. Rewire your signal and watch as the world starts to tune in. Environment as amplifier. Now that you understand how to rewire your signal from within, it's time to look at the world around you. Because no matter how powerful your internal transformation, your environment acts as an amplifier, either boosting your new frequency or dragging you back into old patterns. This is the hidden force that most people overlook, and it's one of the most decisive factors in whether your aura becomes magnetic or remains muted. Think about it, you can spend hours visualizing abundance, repeating affirmations, and practicing gratitude, but if you're surrounded by people who complain, doubt, or gossip, their energy will seep into your field. If your daily routine is filled with distractions, negativity, or reminders of past failures, your aura will struggle to maintain its new frequency. Environment is not just the backdrop of your life, it's the echo chamber that multiplies whatever you're already broadcasting. Let's get specific. Who do you spend the most time with? Are they people who challenge you to grow, who celebrate your wins, who see your potential even when you can't? Or are they people who reinforce your limitations, who remind you of your past mistakes, who secretly hope you'll stay the same so they don't have to change? The truth is, your circle is either your greatest asset or your biggest liability. If you want to train your aura for wealth, you must curate your relationships with the same care you use to protect a precious investment. But it's not just about people. Your physical space matters too. Walk into your home or your workspace and ask yourself, does this environment reflect the future I want or the past I'm trying to escape? Are you surrounded by clutter, reminders of unfinished business, or symbols of scarcity? Or have you created a sanctuary that inspires you, energizes you, and keeps your vision front and center? Even small changes, a clean desk, a vision board, a playlist that lifts your mood, can have a profound impact on your frequency. And then there's what you consume. Every book you read, every video you watch, every post you scroll through is feeding your mind and shaping your aura. If you're constantly absorbing stories of struggle, fear, or limitation, you're reinforcing those patterns in your own field. But if you fill your mind with stories of triumph, possibility, and abundance, you're programming your aura to expect and attract more of the same. Guard your input as fiercely as you guard your bank account, because what you allow in will determine what you send out. Here's a powerful exercise. For the next 7 days, audit your environment. Notice how you feel after spending time with certain people in certain places or consuming certain content. Do you feel energized, inspired, and open to possibility? Or do you feel drained, anxious, and pulled back into old habits? Your emotions are the most honest feedback you'll ever get. If something lowers your frequency, it's time to make a change. Sometimes this means making hard choices. It might mean distancing yourself from relationships that no longer serve your growth. It might mean letting go of habits that keep you stuck in the past. It might mean saying no to invitations, conversations, or commitments that drain your energy. This isn't about being cold or selfish. It's about protecting the signal you've worked so hard to build. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup, and you can't attract abundance from a field that's constantly being polluted by negativity. But here's the beautiful part. As you upgrade your environment, you'll find that your aura becomes stronger, clearer, and more magnetic. You'll start to attract new people, new opportunities, and new experiences that match your elevated frequency. You'll notice synchronicities, chance meetings, unexpected offers, doors opening where there were only walls before. This isn't coincidence. It's the law of resonance, amplified by the power of your environment. And don't underestimate the ripple effect. When you raise your frequency, you give others permission to do the same. Your courage to change your environment can inspire those around you to upgrade their own lives. You become a beacon, a living example of what's possible when you refuse to settle for less than you deserve. So as you continue on your journey to wealth, remember, your environment is either your greatest ally or your silent saboteur. Curate it with intention. Fill your world with reminders of your vision, with people who lift you higher, with habits that reinforce your new identity. Let your space, your circle, and your input become amplifiers for the abundance you're now ready to receive. In the next section, we'll dive into the identity shift that cements your transformation and makes your new frequency unshakable. But for now, take a look around. What in your environment is amplifying your signal? and what needs to change so your aura can finally broadcast at full power. The choice, as always, is yours. Identity shift. Now that you've begun to transform your environment, it's time to address the most powerful amplifier of all, your identity. This is the core of your aura, the engine that drives every thought, emotion, and action you take. If you want to attract wealth that lasts, you must become the kind of person who is not just hopping for abundance, but who expects it, who lives, breathes, and embodies it at every level. This is the identity shift that separates those who dabble and change from those who become unrecognizable to their old selves. Let's get real. Most people are trapped by the story they've been telling themselves for years. Maybe you've been the underdog, the survivor, the one who always has to work twice as hard for half as much. Maybe you've worn struggle like a badge of honor, believing that suffering somehow makes you more deserving. But here's the truth. As long as you cling to that old identity, your aura will keep broadcasting the same frequency, and the world will keep responding in kind. You cannot attract a new reality while living in the shadow of your old self. So how do you shift your identity? It starts with a decision, a bold, unapologetic choice to let go of who you've been and step into who you're becoming. This isn't about pretending or faking it. It's about remembering the version of you that existed before the world told you to play small, the version that believed anything was possible, the version that didn't apologize for wanting more. Begin by asking yourself, who do I want to be when no one is watching? What kind of energy do I want to bring into every room? What would my life look like if I truly believed I was worthy of abundance? These questions are not just mental exercises. They are invitations to step into a new reality. The more vividly you can imagine your future self, the more powerfully you can begin to embody that identity right now. But here, where most people get stuck, they wait for evidence before they believe. They want to see the money, the opportunities, the recognition, then they'll allow themselves to feel successful. But the law of resonance doesn't work that way. You must become the person first, and the results will follow. This is the ultimate leap of faith, and it's where most people turn back. But if you're willing to hold the vibration of your future self, even when your current reality hasn't caught up, you'll find that the world begins to rearrange itself around your new identity. This shift isn't just mental, it's emotional, physical, and spiritual. It's in the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. It's in the boundaries you set, the standards you uphold, the dreams you refuse to shrink. When you embody your new identity, your aura becomes undeniable. People feel it before you say a word. Opportunities find you, not because you're chasing them, but because you've become a match for them. Let's talk about the 4 elements of a wealthy aura, the building blocks of a magnetic identity. 1. Certainty. No matter what happens around you, move with intention. Certainty is louder than noise. People trust those who trust themselves. When you speak, speak with conviction. When you act, act with purpose. Certainty is not arrogance. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. 2. Calm. You can't radiate abundance if your energy is chaotic. Practice emotional stillness. Don't react to every challenge. Respond with clarity. Don't beg for attention or approval. Attract it by being grounded. Calm is the foundation of true power, and it's what allows your aura to remain strong even in the face of adversity. 3. Congruence. Your thoughts, words, and actions must agree. You can't affirm wealth and live in scarcity. You can't visualize success and avoid discipline. Alignment isn't optional, it's the key to a magnetic identity. When your inner world matches your outer actions, your aura becomes a beacon for everything you desire. 4. Contribution. If you want to be wealthy, be valuable. Give without keeping score. Solve problems that matter. Show up to serve, not just to succeed. Contribution is the secret ingredient that turns personal abundance into collective impact. When you make a habit of adding value wherever you go, the universe finds ways to reward you in return. This identity shift is not a one-time event, it's a daily practice. Every morning, remind yourself of who you're becoming. Every decision, ask, does this align with my new identity, or does it pull me back into my old story? Every challenge, see it as an opportunity to reinforce your new frequency. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you'll look back and realize you no longer recognize the person you used to be. And here's the most powerful part. When you shift your identity, you don't just change your own life, you become a catalyst for change in others. Your presence gives people permission to dream bigger, to expect more, to step into their own power. You become a living example of what's possible when you refuse to settle for less than you deserve. In the next section, we'll dive into the practical rituals that will help you lock in this new identity and make your aura unshakable. But for now, remember, your identity is the foundation of your frequency. Choose it with intention, embody it with courage, and watch as the world begins to respond to the new you. Practical rituals. Now that you've begun to shift your identity and understand the power of your aura, it's time to anchor these changes with daily rituals. Because transformation isn't a one-time event, it's a practice, a discipline, a way of living that turns new beliefs into unshakable habits. The most magnetic people you know didn't get that way by accident. They built their aura day by day with intention and consistency, and you can do the same. Let's start with the first ritual, the emotional audit. Every morning before the world has a chance to shape your mood, take 5 minutes to check in with yourself. Ask, what am I feeling right now? Is this emotion serving the person I'm becoming? If you notice anxiety, doubt, or scarcity, don't judge it, just notice it. Then consciously choose a new emotion. Maybe it's gratitude, maybe it's confidence, maybe it's excitement for what's possible. This simple act of emotional awareness is like cleaning the lens through which you see the world. The clearer your lens, the stronger your signal. The second ritual is alignment affirmations. But these aren't the empty, robotic phrases you might have tried before. These are declarations spoken with conviction, designed to rewire your nervous system and remind your subconscious who you really are. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and say out loud, I am wealth in motion. I am aligned with abundance. I do not chase, I attract. I release guilt and embrace expansion. The key is to feel these words in your body, not just recite them in your mind. The more emotion you bring, the more powerfully your aura responds. Next comes visualization repetition. Close your eyes and see your future self, not as a distant fantasy, but as a living reality. Picture yourself walking into rooms with confidence, speaking your truth, making decisions from a place of certainty. Imagine the details, the way you dress, the way you move, the way people respond to your presence. Let yourself feel the emotions of success, freedom, and security as if they're happening right now. The mind can't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. The more you rehearse your future, the more your aura begins to broadcast that frequency. But there's a fourth ritual that takes your practice to the next level, energetic replay. Before any important meeting, conversation, or decision, take a few moments to sit quietly and imagine the best possible outcome. See yourself succeeding, hear the applause, feel the relief and satisfaction. Most importantly, notice who you are in that moment, how you think, how you move, what you radiate. Then carry that emotional blueprint into the real event. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's quantum rehearsal. When your body believes the outcome is already yours, you dissolve fear and resistance, and your aura becomes magnetic to success. Consistency is the secret ingredient that turns these rituals from theory into transformation. It's not about doing them perfectly, it's about doing them daily. Some days you'll feel powerful, other days you'll feel resistance. That's normal. The point is to keep showing up, to keep choosing your new identity, to keep training your aura until it becomes second nature. Over time, you'll notice subtle shifts. You'll feel calmer in situations that used to trigger anxiety. You'll speak up where you once stayed silent. You'll attract opportunities that once seemed out of reach. But let's be clear, this journey isn't always comfortable. As you raise your frequency, you may notice old patterns, relationships, or environments falling away. People who once felt like home may no longer resonate with your new energy. Habits that used to comfort you may start to feel heavy or out of place. This is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's proof that you're evolving. Growth requires letting go. Every seed must break before it grows. Every identity must crack before it expands. So, as you practice these rituals, give yourself permission to release what no longer serves you. Let go of the need to be understood by everyone. Let go of the urge to shrink to fit old spaces. Let go of the guilt that comes from outgrowing your past. The more you release, the more space you create for abundance to flow in. And remember, you're not just doing this for yourself. Every time you choose gratitude over complaint, courage over fear, or belief over doubt, you're raising the frequency of everyone around you. Your aura becomes a beacon, a silent invitation for others to rise with you. This is how you create a ripple effect of abundance, not just in your own life, but in your community, your family, your world. In the next section, we'll explore how adversity and discomfort are actually the secret ingredients that strengthen your aura and make your transformation unbreakable. But for now, commit to these rituals. Make them your daily non-negotiables, because the person you're becoming is built in the moments no one else sees. And every day you practice, you're not just changing your habits, you're rewriting your destiny. Adversity and growth. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to become unstoppable after facing setbacks, while others crumble at the first sign of trouble, the answer lies in how they relate to adversity. Most people see challenges as obstacles, as proof that they're not meant for more. But those who truly master their aura understand a deeper truth. Adversity isn't a punishment, it's a catalyst. It's the fire that forges your frequency, the test that strengthens your signal, the very thing that makes your aura unbreakable. Let's be honest, no one likes discomfort. We're wired to seek safety, to avoid pain, to cling to what's familiar. But growth never happens in the comfort zone. Every time you step into the unknown, every time you face a setback, every time life throws you a curveball, you're being given a choice. Shrink back into your old identity or rise into the person you're becoming. This is the crossroads where most people turn back. They interpret adversity as a sign to quit, to lower their standards, to settle for less. But what if adversity is actually the universe's way of asking, how badly do you want this? Are you willing to become the person who can hold what you're asking for? Think about the most magnetic, successful people you know. Their stories are never free of struggle. In fact, it's often the setbacks, the failures, the moments of doubt that become the turning points in their journey. They don't just survive adversity, they use it. They let it strip away what's no longer serving them. They let it reveal the parts of themselves that are still clinging to fear, doubt, or limitation. And then instead of running from the discomfort, they lean in. They ask, what is this challenge here to teach me? How can I use this pain to strengthen my purpose, my vision, my aura? Here's the secret, your aura doesn't grow when everything is easy. It grows when you show up while it's hard, when you choose belief even while trembling, when you lead even while learning, when you give even when you feel empty, when you persist even when you feel forgotten. These are the moments that build resilience, that deepen your frequency, that make your presence undeniable. The universe is always watching, always listening. And when you pass the tests of the invisible, it rewards you in the visible. But let's get practical. How do you actually use adversity to strengthen your aura? Start by changing your perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this making possible for me? Every challenge contains a hidden gift, a lesson, a new skill, a deeper level of self-trust. When you look for the opportunity inside the obstacle, you shift from victim to creator. Your energy changes, your aura expands. Next, practice emotional resilience. When setbacks hit, it's easy to spiral into negativity, to let fear or frustration take over. But this is the moment to double down on your rituals. Audit your emotions, affirm your alignment. Visualize your future self handling the challenge with grace and power. The more you practice these habits in the hard times, the more automatic they become. Over time, your baseline frequency rises, not just when things are good, but especially when things are tough. And don't underestimate the power of community. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your strength, who hold you accountable to your vision, who refuse to let you shrink. Sometimes, the right word from the right person at the right time can reignite your fire and help you see the bigger picture. Remember, you're not meant to do this alone. The most magnetic auras are often forged in the company of others who are also committed to growth. But perhaps the most important lesson is this: don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle. Most people give up just as the breakthrough is about to happen. They let temporary discomfort convince them that their dreams are out of reach. But the truth is, the darkest moments often come right before the dawn. If you can hold your frequency, if you can keep showing up, if you can trust that every challenge is shaping you into the person who can receive what you desire, you'll find that the universe responds in ways you never imagined. So the next time adversity knocks on your door, welcome it. See it as a sign that you're on the right path, that you're being prepared for more. Let it refine you, not define you. Let it strengthen your aura, not shrink your vision. Because every time you rise from a setback, every time you choose faith over fear, every time you persist when it would be easier to quit, you're not just building wealth, you're building a legacy. In the next section, we'll bring all these lessons together and show you how to embody your new identity so completely that your aura does the work for you. But for now, remember, adversity is not your enemy, it's your greatest ally. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it make you magnetic. Final call to action. You've traveled far on this journey, farther than most ever will. You've learned that wealth is not just a number in your bank account, but a frequency you broadcast, a signal you train, a story you choose to live. You've seen how your aura is shaped by your thoughts, your beliefs, your habits, and your environment. You've discovered that adversity is not a curse, but a catalyst, and that the real work of transformation happens in the moments when no one is watching. Now, as we bring all these lessons together, it's time for the most important step of all: embodiment. Because none of this matters if it stays in your head. You don't attract wealth by thinking about it, talking about it, or even wishing for it. You attract wealth by becoming the living, breathing embodiment of abundance, by letting your aura speak for you before you ever say a word. This is the final call to action, to walk as the person you've been rehearsing in your mind, to let your energy do the heavy lifting. To trust that the world will respond to the new signal you're sending out. So what does embodiment look like in practice? It means showing up every day as your future self, even when your current reality hasn't caught up yet. It means making decisions from a place of certainty, not fear. It means holding your standards high, even when it would be easier to settle. It means speaking your truth, asking for what you want, and refusing to apologize for your power. Embodiment is not about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about choosing, again and again, to align your actions with your new identity until it becomes second nature. Let's review the blueprint you now hold in your hands. You've learned to audit your emotions, to clear out the clutter of doubt and scarcity before it can take root. You've practiced alignment affirmations, not as empty words, but as powerful commands to your subconscious. You've visualized your future self, rehearsing success until it feels inevitable. You've mastered energetic play, stepping into every high-stakes moment with the confidence of someone who has already won. You've curated your environment, surrounding yourself with people, spaces, and inputs that amplify your frequency. You've embraced adversity, using every setback as fuel for your growth. And most importantly, you've shifted your identity, choosing to become the kind of person who attracts wealth rather than chases it. But here's the truth: the journey doesn't end here. In fact, it's just beginning. Every day you'll be given opportunities to practice what you've learned. Some days will feel effortless, others will test your resolve. There will be moments when old habits try to pull you back, when doubt whispers in your ear, when the world seems slow to respond. In those moments, remember, your aura is always listening. Your frequency is always training. The work you do in private will always show up in public, sooner or later. So what's next? It's time to set your signal. Declare to yourself and to the universe that you are done playing small, that you are done waiting for permission, for proof, for someone else to tell you it's your turn. You are the author of your frequency, the architect of your destiny. Every room you walk into, let your presence speak before you do. Every conversation, let your energy set the tone. Every opportunity, let your aura negotiate on your behalf. And when the world responds, and it will, don't be surprised when doors open, when people listen, when opportunities seem to find you out of nowhere. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is the law of resonance in action. You have become the person who attracts what you once chased. You have become the signal that others are searching for. You have become the invitation that wealth cannot resist. But don't keep this transformation to yourself. The world needs more people who are living in alignment, who are unapologetically abundant, who are willing to lead by example. Share your journey. Lift others as you rise. Become the proof that it's possible to rewrite your story, to train your aura, to attract a life that once seemed out of reach. And when doubt returns, and it will, answer it with action. When fear shouts, and it will, answer it with faith. When others question your growth, and they will, smile and expand anyway, because you are not becoming something new. You are remembering who you were before the world told you to forget. You were born magnetic. You were born abundant. You were born chosen. Now finally, it's time to walk as if you know it. The wealth you seek isn't just outside you. It's orbiting you right now, waiting, watching, listening for a frequency it can follow. So set the signal, train your aura, and let the world chase you. This is your moment. This is your invitation. The only question left is, will you answer the call?